there was this situation, but I had to make a final.
You had the final say on the squad that was being selected.
It was always a challenge, a situation where it was challenging, very, very challenging.
Welcome to OSIKANI TV on YouTube once again. Let's talk about the Black Stars team, Ghana Football Association, on Coach Otto and some few other stuff you need to know in this one. For now, a lot of issues are going on and we have to talk about it. Black Stars call-up is the Ghana Football Association always recommending players or trying to add their own players? Well, former Ghana coach Sika Akonnor has spoken and we will check it out. You know, Sika Akonnor, the time that he was the boss or he was the Black Stars coach, he actually let it out that yes, he has been doing selections on his own. No one is imposing players on him and a whole lot of stuff. But when he was removed off his post, he came out to say that some players around his time, the likes of Lomote and some few players, usually he was being forced to add them. Today, he has spoken again, and it is really interesting. Well, I'll play everything for you guys to enjoy it and to let me know what you think about it. In this update, Black Stars team manager Aminu Shado has spoken on a long, interview today on Happy Sports. And according to him, if this is how we sack coaches, then Mikel Arteta would have been sacked after 2 seasons in Arsenal. He was actually referring to Addo's sack, the call for Addo's sack. So it looks like maybe tomorrow's meeting might not actually yield the fruit that Ghanaians are looking for, that Otto should be sacked. And the GFA themselves, are they fit to be in their positions? Well, a lot of things is going on, as I said. So let me actually run you through, guys, so that we just enjoy it. And quickly, we'll be out of here. If you have joined me, take your time. Like the video as always. After liking, if you are new here, please subscribe, put us on post notification so that I drop the latest updates, you'll be the first person to get and also enjoy. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box, and after watching the video, share the link so that others also come here and enjoy the latest on the channel. We'll also continue the conversation in the comment box. I'll take time, then we continue from there. So yes, before then, these are the teams who have qualified to the next AFCON that will happen in Morocco from 2025 December to 2026 January, and that is that. Morocco, the host nation, is already in there. Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Algeria, DR Congo, Senegal, Egypt, Angola, Equatorial Guinea, Cote d'Ivoire, Gabon, Uganda, South Africa, Tunisia, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Mali is also there, Comoros, Sudan, Benin, Tanzania, Botswana, and Mozambique. These are the 24 countries who have qualified to the next AFCON that will happen in Morocco. And the sad thing is no Ghana in the next AFCON after 21 years of age. You can actually see that I'm worried about it, but I know you're also worried. We have to move on from here. So former Black Stars coach Sika Akonnor has spoken. According to him, it was uncomfortable when he was coaching because he will make his squad, then later on, definitely there has to be some few inputs or there has to be questions about the squad. Oh, why did you select this player? But according to him, it wasn't comfortable per how they were trying to make things for him. Even there was a time he wanted to add one player, usually Yajid, who plays for Niger. He played for Niger against Ghana. Yes, but the FA, around that time, they didn't allow him. I don't want to speak for him. Let's listen to the exact words as he said today on Joy Sports in this quick interview. After that, they will come and talk about Black Stars team manager who has spoken a lot in this one.
I needed necessary support. I don't think they gave me the support I wanted. It was difficult for me. A lot of people think Kurt was my friend, and that is it's the opposite. I didn't have the necessary support that I needed from him, and of course the entire FA were also not too happy with my work, and eventually they got rid of me.
Were they interfering with your selection?
I had issues of selecting players. This boy who even now playing for Niger. He was one of the guys who I wanted. I've forgotten the name. It escaped me.
Najib,
exactly. Him and other guys. The FA fought me not to bring him. And now he's playing for Niger. So there were a few things that I struggled. And I thought, again, like somebody would say, Kurt is a friend. I work with him in Right to Dreams. But it was a different story. Obviously, he had his own ideas of doing things, and it didn't work. It didn't work as I expected. And so there were challenges. Some after I've been home, I've thought about it, and some I can understand, some I don't. But the truth of the matter is, I went through a very, very difficult situation.
Are you free to choose from local players? Is there, like a condition for you to choose foreign players? And then who decides your playlist?
Yeah, I mean, you go and have a team. You make a team yourself, and exactly what you want to be done, the kind of players you want, and of course they also bring their views on players. Sometimes it could be uncomfortable. I understand that they have to look into it. I understand that football is not done by one person alone. There should be some guidance, and so in my case, I think it was not a situation where we were working together. It was a situation where things were a little bit of in a mess. When we go into decide for players, it's always not comfortable. Some of the guys will be, if they will be honest, like George Amaku and the likes, they would say it. I don't have to come out to say it. Sometimes it's really a fight, and at the end of the day, the media doesn't know. Some of them will criticize you, will say something, which I also understand, and you can also not come out to speak in certain things which will be unfair, and so it's a very difficult situation.
Yes, so that is it, coming in from Coach Charles Kwablan Akonnor, Akonnor. He has let out some few things. Sometimes they don't want to go straight to the point, but if you listen carefully, you get to know that yes, what he means is some people were imposing players on him, and that kind of relationship that he was expecting that he would have with current president Keto Kraku, it didn't work like that, because before he came in, we all knew that he used to work for Dreams FC, Keto Kraku's team. So most of us, we definitely said that yes, it was because of that linkage. They brought him as assistant to Kwesi Appiah. If you guys can recall, we played a game in Cape Coast. Yes, I think that was against South Africa. And the way he was doing on the touchline, many were like, hey, he's so good. I think he has, at that time, he just coached Kotoko. So, hey, then we brought him in. But Agroball 2 was not good for us enough, so we have to let him go. And that is that. So, according to him, at that time, it wasn't comfortable as a head coach. So, let's move on to the team manager of the Black Stars, Aminu Shado. He has spoken lengthy today. And according to him, the major points, but I will let you guys listen to everything that he said. He spoke on Otto, as I said. He said, if this is how we change coaches, then EPL, after some 5 matches, some coaches will be sacked. Even Mikel Arteta wouldn't have spent first 2 seasons in Arsenal and still stay there, he would have been sacked. And he made a whole lot of comments. He also continues to say that parameters to judge coaches is not only about the results that we achieved. According to him, the Black Stars' performance did not tally with our results that we had in the AFCON qualifiers. A whole lot. I don't like speaking for people. Let's listen to what he said in this interview, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Aminu Shado, I will carry yourself studio. Are you?
Yeah.
No, what's in you?
Cry.
We need $1. We said we need $1 crowd. Because only $1.
Yamini.
6 matches, no him.
Yamini.
Shado. One time my friend I'm catching say, no crowd communications director. Black Stars young man we need to be our tournament. Oh, senior Ibrahim Salidara. Oh, come on, in the semi-finals. Now, at least games go on. They got a minute. Black Stars radio. I say, because you want more energy be out. I mean, Shadow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Send me a Ghanaian.
Happy spot.
Yeah. Me Ghanaian, first and foremost, I'm the Ghanaian. Into a year now, Ghana for dinner. Musumi Dibipa.
Sir.
Mudenika times 2. If that times 3.
Because we invested interest.
Very much. So, I mean, Maboto. and I'm not the only one I share in this situation. A lot more people are more inside. No, so this is how they feel. They are very down, and saying about no there. I mean, words are not even enough. You just say we let Ghanaians down, and me personally, you know, I'm the pass I make because when I see my family, I mean, share disappointment in their faces. It hurts. It really hurts.
Eddie, but how did we get here? Because when you say you call AFCON and call you, the FA, you look at a crowd. Abidjan one, release by say you do something get team now. There was a search party to find us a new coach. Yeah, Tia Noma announced you to Addo. So we all thought that we were moving away from the AFCON disaster now. You come in Morocco and Abidjan. But the and of course, we thought Chassis and Chassis in the World Cup qualifier. Cameroon and Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire. But Chassis in the World Cup qualifiers, 1 away win, 1 home win. And we thought that any corner with time will come good. But in 3 international breaks, complete disaster. There the course between that first international break in the World Cup qualifiers and the next international break in AFCON, we never looked the same again. Team no Ejijasa.
Me can say team Ejija. No, me can say team Ejija. Let me explain.
Okay.
Resource NMI. Resource have not been forthcoming. But if you look at the performance of the team in most of the games, we performed better than the results that we got. If we are going to be honest and be factual to happenings. I mean, first game boy against Angola was the boy I was supposed to do. You were there, you saw the game. Did anything suggest to you say it was a lose game, Nana?
Yeah, if I don't beat him in Chelsea, or see formula and I'm going to buy it. That's
why you say when you pipe down the emotions, now we'll come more deeper and look at that, analyze the games, just the games. If the performance of the team in the games that all the games that we played is anything to go by, I can say topic group no.
By performance.
By performance. And these are facts. Unless you want to be blind to the facts. Angola game neighbor Kumasi. 2 shots on target for Angola. Last minute, and I'm going to share. We had. I'm coming. I'm started. I'm not saying we performed it all the games. I didn't say that. But most of the games are your boy. No, we share the happenings, the analysis of individual games. No, the aggregate effect is that we should have qualified. Then we went to Niger. I think for me, that was probably the worst performance in the series.
Yeah.
Shankoso and every
to make it worse, home away from
exactly every one of us knew it. It's awoken us for the next window against Sudan. Now game no against Sudan Wakrano. You were there. So baby.
Yeah.
Did anything suggest that we should have lost that game? In fact,
we drew that game.
If you look at even the statistics, no, we should have scored not less than 3 goals. And it's clear the ball just didn't enter the net.
Yeah.
Then we went to Libya. I think Libya game also I'll rank it as the second worst performance of the team. But even in that game, in the first half, no, we scored a perfect goal. Ubekaya. How the goal was disallowed, only God knows. Nobody's talking about it. But I understand. Normal. So results down quite. They don't look at hoping near at that job. Is that no? I've been in that situation before. Because so they all kind of there. But at the end of the instance, in the position that I am, I have to isolate the emotions from the facts. And then we lost that game. Then we went to Angola. Even with all the issues we had in terms of player withdrawals, injuries, On a normal day, a 1-1 result in Luanda against this Angola side, any bad results at all. But because of positional woman, I mean,
because the first Niger
yes, yes.
So we needed that
exactly. And then once that result didn't go down, I said there be a time that Okasesani call semi-final. Your semi-final you lose there. The motivation to even play the final game. Where there's nothing at stake, it becomes even more difficult. And it was even more complicated. Say even the top quality in Iwomuka also suffered some setbacks. Jordan had a situation. Fatao had a situation. Gideon Mensah. Say ni ankle and ni knee. And then Fatao also ni. They are doing further tests. Omoko back. Gideon always has a problem. You're managing on also call back. They're doing further tests. So it further depleted the side. And you saw the late collapse by. So preparations even for this game, the motivation was already low and it became even more difficult. And I've come to one conclusion. This is not scientific, but an observation. Anytime the masses, the emotions of the masses are detached from the team itself, yes. Nipano and the team because of the Endra. Yes. Akasmus virtually empty. Yes. It felt like we're watching Ghana play game. It's normal. For that one, it's very normal, especially in our foreign culture here in Ghana. It's very normal. It's very normal. So I didn't look at, but you to study more. Definitely, boy passes. That's what I'm saying. I'm for this is normal. Say results number. Imagine, say, if we're still in it, do you think it would have been the same situation? And yes, you understand. So yes, the aggregate effect of the American, I say, if games not called the way it's supposed to go, per the performance of the team, even in the games that we lost, we didn't do well. We should have amassed enough points to have qualified to the tournament. And this is a verifiable fact, unless you don't want to be honest with people. But I understand results. You have to put all these things up. I'm talking about this because of the position I am in leadership. When you're going to make critical decisions, you have to look at all the indices, not only the results. And coaches will always tell you they are responsible for the performance, not the results. Not the results, and it's true. But it's not been the point that one offer. We may then say, we can pardon the coach, we can pardon the team, we can pardon the FA, but many tia me di football, me press journalism. I've not seen the Black Stars play in the qualifier. We failed to win a single game. So we cannot overlook. He said, coach, cannot be blamed. In fact, some of his decisions have contributed to the team. No, I've not said the coach cannot be blamed. Of course, when you go into Namameka say when the team, when you ask a question why, and some of us, and as a collectively, and individually, could affect these things. Yeah. And the coach himself knows where he's falling short. Some of the decisions he's made, he knows it. It's up to him to go and defend all those decisions. But he knows. He knows. I think his biggest problem is how to convey his remorse properly in the heat of events. I think that's his major problem. But Andra, yesterday was telling you. Yeah, Andra, when he came back, I started waiting for like an hour. You could see how he's hurting. You could see clearly. But of course, that's the nature of the job. I'm just a very critical question about that. For instance, naming a captain for the senior national team, the Black Stars, even for a game. Yeah. That the coach discussed that with the technical team and also the management committee and the FA. That in this game, based on the availability of Captain A, I'm going to name this player as captain. And I said more the structure of the captaincy. Okay. What is the current situation with the captaincy? Because in 3 international breaks, you've had 3 different players captain the national team. Yeah. What is the current situation? The current situation is that there's a hierarchy. Okay. There's a hierarchy, and the coach announced the hierarchy. Osi, Jordan, Ayu, Jiku, and then Kudus. That's the current situation. So, Thomas, hold on. That's what the coach announced. Hold on.
I'm asking this question,
Yeah.
and it's important you give us this.
Yeah.
Because in that October international, I was at the press conference at the Command Sports Stadium. Okache said Partey Nebe captain.
Yes, because Partey was present. Yes.
And Partey in the old order was deputy.
Yes.
And the anyhow.
Yes.
And what take you over.
Yes.
Then the following international break, Partey wasn't available.
Exactly.
Nobody knew who his deputies were.
Yes.
And announced Kudus as his captain.
Yes. He said Kudus will captain for the game. Yes.
For captain for the game.
Yes. Yes.
Then we were told that even deputies, Juku, Eka deputies,
yeah.
But that day Juku was on the field of play, but he didn't
captain. Okay.
We didn't know why Juku didn't captain.
Okay. This is for the coach to come and explain. I have an idea of what went on, but of course, maybe I'm not able to
tell us the details.
But what I'll say generally is that situations and affected Nyama Bibre. Certain situations affected a lot of things in that particular camp. And it also translated in the decisions that were made.
Okay.
It might be good, it might be bad. I don't think it is proper for me to come and pass a verdict on that on air, especially when I have the opportunity to say it
to the coach
where it matters most. I mean, that's my policy. The only way I come in public to criticize is if I don't have the opportunity to say it to you.
Sure.
But once I have the opportunity to say it to you, no, I will never do that. So all I'll say is that situations in that camp and influence a lot of the decisions that were made. But it's for the coach to explain. And this last camp, based on the players who are available, he mentioned the hierarchy as it is. And that's what will be some question. What is the situation now? The situation is that Jordan
is the captain.
Jiku, Kudus.
So if Partey comes back, what happens?
Then he has to announce going forward what it is.
So there's no clarity in that department?
No, I don't think there's any ambiguity. Because if Partey is around,
available,
he is the captain.
Okay.
General, you ask me what's the situation.
Okay, now what's it going forward?
No, going forward, it depends on for instance, if the next camp, if this coach or these same people are in charge, myself inclusive are in charge, say Dede Amba, say Partey Amba, say Jiku Amba, say Kudus Amba, will you expect him to name the same hierarchy? Of course. You asked me a specific question, what's the situation now? And the situation, as the coach announced, was this structure. So based on the next camp, if, for instance, Dede Ba, we all know he's the captain.
Do you know why I'm asking this question? Because I have been to Otto press conference now.
Okay.
Every time, it has to take journalists to ask him. They no announce it, right? It is happening so because we are not clear in our minds.
Okay.
For instance, Kesio Tindiano, we know Dede was the captain. Deputy was Richard Ofori. Partey was the deputy captain.
Yeah.
So we knew the order. And if Dede is not on the field of play, we know that Partey will captain, Ofori will captain. But in this one, we don't know.
No, but I think
so it takes us to always ask him.
I think what he has even done is to extend the line.
Yes, so I Kessie.
Yes,
it is bigger.
So, for instance, if all these players were Bobudi, Richard Ofori inclusive, are in camp, we know what the structure is.
Yes.
No, Dede, Partey, Richard Ofori, Jordan, Jiku, Kudus.
Okay. Do you know why I'm insisting on you?
Okay.
If you scan social media and the Ghanaian press, you are not saying Kudus. A lot of people were shocked, including myself at the press conference.
Yes.
Why?
That's why I said.
Do you know the order?
Yes, I agree. That's why I said that in that particular situation, certain happenings influence decisions. Okay. But then it is clear. We all know this. Until, for instance, I make an example. Say, if all these players are in camp at a particular point in time, the order is clear. If Dede is in camp, Dede is the captain. Then Partey, then Richard Ofori, then Jordan Ayew, then Jiku, then Kudus.
Okay.
It has so happened, say, some of these players have not been in camp
consistently.
Yes.
Okay.
And in one particular instances, and like I said, situations within camp and certain instances influence decisions. But it's for him to explain.
You are very close to the coach.
Yeah.
He laid down the marker when Partey didn't come.
Which is? That
he's dealing with performance commitment, and I think there was a third one, indiscipline. Now Partey wanted to come. That is one. We've seen other withdrawals as well. Because Partey fit we were told that he wasn't fit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the coach created the impression, said, I said, now by refusing him the opportunity to come for the next international break.
Yeah.
Is he going to stick by the same standards and principles? And I said, he will deviate from that because he's seen that it is not as straightforward as he thinks it is.
First and foremost, you don't use one broom to brush everything.
Sure.
And secondly, the coach had discussions with Party.
Yeah.
I'm not privy to the discussions also. And you see, that's one critical aspect of the whole conversation that is missing. We don't know what transpired between the two of them. That
the private conversation.
And the coach said it in the press conference. He doesn't like bringing things. Yeah. If he was able to shed more light on that conversation,
it's a fair point.
And I wasn't there.
It's a fair point to me.
You see, and that's very critical. I might not also know the kind of discussion I want with other players and pull it out. But some of them, in fact, all of them, as far as I know, were genuine. All of them. Genuine concerns, medical concerns.
Personal.
But he further to that, on your discussions with all of them or more from one way or the other. And based on the discussion that I'm very sure, based on the discussions on your and influencing the decisions. Unfortunately, I wasn't there. So it will be very difficult for me to speak authoritatively on it.
Is there, can we, of course, from a journalist, and you've done this job, there are situations that you can then draw links.
Yeah.
You may not have conclusive evidence, but if you are smart enough and know the team nature, you can actually follow a particular trend and come to a reasonable conclusion. Pencil and Otto, on relationship, can it ever get better?
I see. This is where you got it very, very wrong.
Okay.
And even Otto explained it in this pre-game against is it Niger?
Yeah.
He gave the reasons why he didn't come. Pencil, for personal reasons, didn't come, but we know what kind of personal reason it was.
Okay.
He was having a baby, his first child, and the lady was having complications. Don't know, but they are only he flew from. You see, it's be personal issues. No, that's why it's so difficult for me to put it because he didn't want it out.
Yeah.
And the lady was in Belgium. He was in the US. He had to fly from the US, left his club into LA Galaxy. Omoko ahead in the playoffs. No, he's not there. He came to Belgium to be with the wife. She was having complications. Fortunately, what deliver is okay. A baby girl. So you will sit somewhere and say he has a string. And in fact, I had this conversation with Otto, based on reports I see before, it is very likely, say, this is what they report. But that's where we all got wrong. We could have easily also checked because I know, say, some of you, in fact, all of you, most of you, you have links to the player where you can easily verify these things. Easily. But then you create an impression out there and it goes out to pollute the masses.
Yeah.
Which is not the case at all. But and that for me is one of the problems we face.
But the coach also can also give us hints.
Yes, that's why I'm saying.
And not just say personal. And
I'm just saying, in last press conference, maybe you were not there. That's why. In last press conference before the game, he explained further. I think somebody asked a question, so he had to open up. That's why I'm very confident in giving you because the coach opened up. The player didn't want these details out. To be honest with you, but I had to tell him that look. Because of situation, perhaps we should be open to let people know to kill. But that's where also I have to emphasize that we have a problem as practitioners. We could have easily verified these things. Look, not everything is meant for public consumption.
True.
But then you influence public opinion. And I say these kind of things goes a long way in detaching the emotions of the people from the team. Because we are not putting the right information out there. And this could have easily been verified. I mean, Jesse Yaminia, you could have easily even, nobody, not even one person, not even one journalist, try to even contact to say, okay, this is what you are thinking. If I'm not able to even give you any, then you can run with it. And now you're sourcing with the players, because I know you have sources close to the player. You could have done this. But we didn't.
Okay.
But what's the net effect? Are creating an impression, a totally wrong impression, which is not the case at all.
Yeah. True.
In fact, I had a conversation with Prince and I emphasized the need, how it's so important. But you see, football, life, this is life, a matter of life. It goes beyond football. You can understand him.
Yeah.